What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at another horror movie on Netflix. And are you feeling hashtag blessed, hashtag alive, hashtag living, hashtag surviving, hashtag thriving? Are we 2025ing, 2020 thriving? Are we living it up? Are we surviving and thriving? What are we doing in today's society? Because today, the movie that we're taking a look at is hashtag alive. And you do need that hashtag, and it's a very hard movie to find. It is a very hard movie to find over on Netflix, and to also Google search it to get the pictures and the information on this movie. So it did take me quite a while to find it. So without any further delay, let's actually skedaddle over onto what YouTube has to say about this movie. And I meant Google, not YouTube, sorry. So this is exclusively on Netflix. You can only watch this movie on Netflix. It is a 2020 horror action, which is 1 hour and 39 minutes, and it came out in 2020. What awful fucking time for a movie like this to come out. What an awful time. It is a horror movie about a virus taking the world by storm. 2020 could not have been a worse year to release this movie. But while a grisly virus ravages a Korean city, Jun-woo tries to stay safe by locking himself inside his apartment. Just as he loses hope, he discovers another survivor. So this is set in Korea, and I did watch the dubbed version before any of you complain at me. I watched the dubbed version because I struggle with reading, and it is much easier for me to watch dub than sub. I watch dub in anime form. I just don't want to sit there and read, and I struggle with reading, okay? Y'all don't appreciate it when I don't tell you that I watched the dub version, and y'all don't like it when I do watch the dub version, but I can't read. I'm admitting it. I struggle with reading, so just let me watch it. Just let me watch it in dub, okay? Just accept it. So the story actually starts with this guy in his house playing a video game, deciding not to go out and get more groceries, and then all of his friends disappear from playing online because they turn on the news and see that a zombie outbreak is happening. He looks outside and sees the world go to shit. Someone breaks into his apartment to hide from his brother. They have been bitten on the back of the neck and they turn into a zombie, but he fights them and kicks them out of his house, and then he locks himself into that house. He has 3 days worth of food because he didn't go grocery shopping, and now he's gonna starve. He also wastes his last noodle bowl because of an advert on TV, and he wastes his water by knocking it over. So when it starts raining outside, he gets super giddy, super excited, and refills all of his water. He then, obviously before he ran out of water, turned to drinking from his dad's cabinet because that was the only liquids he could get. He had a hallucination about his family returning home. He then got a call from his family, and on that call, they all got murked. They all died in that phone call. They were all so excited to hear him, so excited to see him, and then boom, bada bing, bada boom, zombies broke into the office building and killed them all, so he's the last survivor. He tries to off himself, but then a laser pointer shines into his room, and he realizes that he's not alone and there's another survivor. So they make a wire so they can send water and food over to each other so they can help each other out a little bit, and then they decide, you know what, fuck this, let's go. So they try and make it to the 8th floor because apparently the 8th floor is abandoned. It is not abandoned. Someone helps them in, lets them in on the 8th floor after them fighting through hordes of zombies to get there, and he drugs them and tries to feed them to their zombie wife, and they manage to break out. The wife actually eats the husband. They both get put down. They manage to escape to the roof because they hear helicopters, and then they get cornered by all the zombies, and then the helicopter shows up and guns down all the zombies, and they manage to get away to safety. That is the movie, and I'm gonna be honest, this movie had so many moments where you felt bad for the characters because they had survived so long, been through so much shit, but decided, you know what, dying on my own terms is better than being eaten alive. Offing myself is better than being torn to shreds by these zombies. I will die in my own terms, in my own way, because I don't want them to take my humanity. I don't want them to go through all this pain of like suffering to struggle to survive, and I don't want to go through all this pain of being eaten by these zombies. So they have multiple moments where they are about to kill themselves, but then they have one shining glimmer of hope, one silver lining, which gives them the extra push, the extra motivation, the extra desire to keep going, the extra desire to keep living. And it is genuinely so sad to watch. I'm going to be honest, watching someone's slow descent into giving up after giving it their absolute all and that not being enough to survive, and it is just so upsetting and so sad. The zombies are smarter than most. There is some rules that these zombies do have, which is given to us through news, like, instead, which is a little upsetting. The news articles are quite often turned on in the background, and it does just give us pointless, mindless exposition of the characters being like, oh, these zombies do remember certain stuff that they used to know when they were human. These zombies like to eat each other, and eat you. Their disease is passed through blood and open wounds and saliva. Basic zombie shit, but one thing stuck out which is quite different is the zombies remembering to do stuff from their human life, like open doors, like climb up ropes, and sort of do firefighter things, because there was a firefighter that climbed a rope to get into one of their rooms, and that's exciting. That adds a whole new level of threat. We saw another one try and open a door because he remembers how to open a door, and that just adds more threat, more sort of tension to the story. It wasn't utilized as much as I would have liked it to, because it is a unique gimmick that this movie does have compared to other zombie movies, and this literally was only used twice in the two options I mentioned, and that is quite upsetting because it seemed like a big deal, and both of which didn't really come to anything. The door never opened because someone was behind it and he was blocking it, and he decided to give up. The zombie just gave up. And then the other one was they chopped off his hand and he fell to his death. So the zombies can still die. It's not like they're undead, it's just that they have a virus which is affecting their mind. So they're not fully zombie-like, it is more virusy than the living dead. And I thought it was interesting. It definitely focused a lot more on the characters than the zombies, and how the characters were trying to survive. And it was all set in their rooms. It was how long could they hold out before they had to leave their room. And when they did eventually leave their room, that's when all the action started, when they went out to get more food, when they went out to get more water, when they made too much noise and the zombies came rushing in. And the zombies aren't as ruthless as you'd expect them to be. They do give up and kind of wander off if the noise isn't made. So if you make a loud bang, block your door, and then sit there in silence for a good while, they will just fuck off and leave. So there's no real sort of threat, no real tension to some of these scenarios, because we do know that the zombies are just going to leave eventually. The zombies will just walk away and stop chasing you down. And there is definitely other renditions of zombie movies which I do prefer, like Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead. That one is more comedic, very similar to Shaun of the Dead, and I am yet to watch 28 Days, 28 Months, and 28 Years, which I am very excited to watch, but they are going to be coming soon on the channel to celebrate the new movie 28 Years Later. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I really have to say about this movie, and it's zombies. The acting is brilliant from the actor's point of view, and the dub voice actor's point of view, both of which are really good, and you can definitely tell what's going on by their emotions, from the facial expressions on the actor, and also just how their voice actors are holding their voice. Costume design is pretty boring. There is no sort of really cool battle outfit that they go into. They just try and cover as much as their skin as possible with coats and jackets and stuff. So it's nothing too exciting, nothing too sort of extreme with like duct tape or anything like that. It is kind of just the basic attire that like streetwear, nothing too exciting or over the top. And the characters are quite interesting. We do only have 3 characters that we are introduced to: the guy, the girl, and the husband, and they are all really interesting and exciting in their own way. We have the husband that would do anything for his wife. We have the girl that wants to survive and is a lot smarter and a lot more tactical than the guy, and then the guy who's surviving by pure luck. Honestly, this is a really good movie, and I do recommend that you go check it out for yourself, and I would personally give it a 6 out of 10. There is other better zombie movies, but as a movie standpoint, I do believe it is a pretty decent one. So other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. I'll see you all next one. Hope you all have an excellent day, and goodbye. Stay home and stay safe.